Sometimes we feel like happiness is slowly dwindling away. But why is it dwindling away? What is causing this unhappiness? And this is where this video will begin. The cause of unhappiness is only a mindset. No matter what turbulence, no matter what difficulties you encounter in life, you can go right through it. And the question is, can you be happy even if you're going blind, even if you're losing your vision? Can you still find that light on the other side of the tunnel? And will you be able to conquer and withstand all these obstacles that are going to be thrown at you day after day? Those obstacles of not being able to ride a taxi with your guide dog, not being able to go into stores because of your guide dog, not being able to walk on the sidewalks because there's not any and they're not accessible, and sometimes the street lights are not accessible. How are we going to overcome this? How are we gonna truly find our place in the world when it's not accessible? How are we going to find a job if every time we apply we're denied because of disability? Yeah, we may have the capacity, capabilities, and skills, but no one honestly cares about what you can do, but how you can see and how you will fit into their company without them paying for any of your stuff. Can we do it? Can we find joy? Can we find happiness? And some people, if you're going blind, if you're barely going on this journey and you're overwhelmed and you don't even know where to begin of how to overcome or conquer this disability, because everyone is feeling sorry for you. Everyone is fearful of what your life will become now that supposedly it's been damaged. A new chapter is beginning, but the only question that should be asked is, who's going to be there to cheer you on? Who is going to be there to support you when you're going through your hardships, when you're stumbling, when you're trying to find your way to knowing that you have to adapt to this new life? You have to learn a whole new set of skills. You have to learn how to incorporate yourself into society all over again. Sometimes it's hard because there's so many emotions going through your body. There is obviously the sadness of losing the sight, the vision that you once had. There's this loss of confidence of not being able to feel free walking around without using a cane, without using a dog, and always wondering who is walking behind me, who is going to steal from this blind person, and the worry begins. And then there's the victimhood of you saying that you can't have a job and you can't be a person that gets paid well, and you can't do it without anybody else, and you're going to always rely on someone to drive you everywhere, and you're not going to have the freedom or pride to do things on your own, and people are always going to say that you can't do it. But that's when you have to prove them wrong. Yes, it's going to be a difficult journey. Yes, you're going to stumble. Yes, there's going to be obstacles. To be happy is a choice. And even though if you're not going through this with blindness, and you may have be going through with another disability, you know that happiness comes from within yourself, and you radiate that to everyone else, and everyone sees you, and everyone sees how confident you are, you will be. But it's okay to not be confident in the beginning when you are going through vision loss, or even if you already lose your vision but you don't have that hope that everything is going to get better, and you don't see like any improvement with the world and how people are being treated. Yes, there's people getting jobs, and that's great. People are hiring, but a lot of people are getting hired by the companies that help the disabled, which is perfectly fine. Why can't we have a greater range of companies hiring disabled people? I mean, it's 2021, 22, going on to 2022, and we don't see that. But even though you see that people are not hiring you, even though you see that things are not getting better, you have the choice to wake up in the morning and say, this is a new day, and maybe I can make a difference. Maybe I can come up with my own business. maybe I can find something that I'm passionate about to do instead of being sad, instead of feeling down about how hard it will be to get through vision loss, because vision loss is hard when you don't have anything to hold on to, because when you don't have anything to hold on to, you keep going down into this rabbit hole. Because even though I wasn't born sighted and I was born blind, I still can't imagine the feeling that it would be just to lose my whole vision, just to see that it's getting worse. Because there are times where it kind of gets worse. If I'm stressed, if I'm tired, I can't see, I get the headaches, my eyes hurt, it feels like, when is this gonna end? When is this pain gonna go away? And I think I should be grateful that I can still see colors and still see people and still see the world and still enjoy fashion and see all these beautiful things. Being grateful is something difficult when it's a hard time, and especially if the journey is barely begun, if you're barely beginning your vision loss. But you have to remember that no one is going to understand what you're going through. No one's going to get how you feel on the inside. No one's gonna know why this happened to you, and you're not gonna know why this happened to you. But we all, I bet you all the blind community, all the disabled community does not know why this happened. The only thing that you do know and you're certain of is that every day you're alive and every day you're breathing, and there's a reason behind it. And if you don't believe there's a reason behind it, be sure that there is. Because some people lose their vision and they develop these new skills, like the blind architect who could see, went blind, and started creating these new buildings that are accessible for the blind, that are accessible to go around, and it's easier. You see how he just kept at it, kept going, and trying his best to adapt to this new life. And you get to realize that no, you don't get new senses like Daredevil, or you don't get any superpowers, but you're just a little more aware of your other senses. You only lost one, or are currently losing one. Just know that the awareness that you are gaining and the wisdom that you are gaining through it is something different. It's a new experience. It's something that you can be teaching your family, people that you may know that never knew what blindness was, and will see people, blind people, in a different way. Because no matter if you're a blind child of sighted parents, they still will always worry, and they'll always wonder what you can and can't do, and they'll always want to be hovering and always want to be protecting you. But you always have to be reminding them that you can do this, and you don't have to be letting them control what you do or what you don't do, because then you'll be sheltered and you won't be able to gain that confidence or strength of life lessons, even though they may be harsh, because we all go through harsh lessons in life. Happiness is always there. It's just sometimes we all have to go through our ups and our downs every single day. And it's good, because when we're happy, we love being happy and it feels good. But when we're not, we reach for happiness. So either or, whether you're sad, you're eventually going to get to that point where you want to be happy again. And how are you going to do it? That's only up to you. When you're in the low point of you don't have anybody to help you, let's say, and you don't have no technology, you don't have any resources, you're like in the middle of nowhere and no one knows how to help you. What do you do? I can't see, I can't go anywhere, there is no way I can walk anywhere, I think I'm just gonna rely on my parents? Or are you going to, if possible, go on the internet, look up different resources, reach out to people who know people who can get you help, and possibly even move out of that place that is holding you back, possibly get training and everything that you need and everything that you feel that will help you be more sufficient, anything that will make you feel stronger, happier, and healthier mentally and physically, because going blind really does take a toll on your mental state and your confidence and your self-esteem. And that happened to me for years, and not being confident and always relying on my family, and was making me feel that I wasn't as independent as I wanted to be. I was feeling that, would I be able to go out there and be on my own if I relied on them? Do I know how the world is without them? Am I happy? That's the question I always ask myself. Can I ever be happy if, like fulfilled, happy? Like, yeah, there's moments where you feel happy, as in you see something funny, it's funny and you're happy, or you achieve something and you're happy. But happiness is a long-term feeling, whether it's one day or more, and either it's called fulfillment, or you just have this feeling of elation and inspiration, and you are passionate about something. That's the feeling that I was searching for. And I knew that I wouldn't be able to find it living in this small town that wasn't that accessible at the moment. Like, the buses weren't accessible. The buses didn't talk. There was some streets that were difficult to cross, and everything was far apart. And I didn't know what other cities or towns were like. So, I decided to leave. The only way to understand who I was and regain that happiness, that confidence, is to move to a different location. That location was the Bay Area, and that location was something that I never experienced before, which created the spark within me that said, oh wow, there is literally a place where blind people can get around, where blind people could get around and be independent and walk everywhere and take the transit system. Yes, you can take taxis or have people drive you around, but you don't have to rely on people. And those cities and towns are always all around, and there's resources all over the place, and there's people that can help you. And I was just in awe that this existed, and I didn't know about it. And that's why I think that once you realize, if you're a mom with a blind child, that your child can grow up and be happy, even though he lost or she lost their sense of sight, which is about 75% or 80% of what the whole population uses, they're still going to feel good about themselves if you give them the tools, if you give them the love, if you give them the freedom that they deserve to be able to be that independent son or daughter that you wanted them to be. Only because they're blind doesn't mean you have to treat them different, doesn't mean that they can't play sports, doesn't mean that you always have to watch them. I mean, you have to watch them, but not to be more overprotective than the normal child. Yes, there's gonna have to be some alterations, some ways that they will do things differently so they can be safe. And that is understandable, but there is no reason why they can't go to a regular school and they're going to be able to read and they're going to be able to write and they're going to be able to be a 4.0 GPA student, to go to a university and to be whoever or whatever they want to be. Even though it may not look it for people that are currently losing your vision, you may have lost your vision or sight, but you haven't lost the vision that you will have. You still have the vision to create your future, and you still have the vision to create any dream or goal that you may have, no matter what the limitations of the world that may be, no matter if people say you can't do it, no matter if people don't hire you for a job, no matter if you think that you're not going to get paid, or no matter if you get denied a job, no matter if there's obstacles in your way, there's still a way to do things. There's still a way to be an independent person. There's still a way to be an entrepreneur. There's still a way to go to school. There's always a way. The only thing that you need to know is, will you be brave enough, or will you be confident enough to steer away from the conventional, to understand that there's many ways to do things, no matter if it doesn't seem like it. If we put a barrier for ourselves and not do anything and not reach for happiness as we should, and we continue to let other people define who we are and what we can and can't do, we will not be able to lift the barrier of what people think about us. We will not be able to lift the barrier of becoming a part of this whole society. And that's what I want to get to. Be a part of the society and people finally saying, hey, we should build things for everyone else. That is the main goal. And the main goal for that is to be confident, to raise the self esteem slowly, higher and higher and higher. It doesn't have to be up there. And it's okay to go down and be sad and feel the feels and cry about it and write about it. And I'm not saying be happy, be confident. Happiness is a mindset and it takes a while to reach it. But when you reach those happy moments, just know that you have to be grateful that you're alive. You may not have sight, but you're alive. You may not have vision, but you're alive and you're breathing, you have family, and you probably have the resources, and you have a big community here. If you want to look on YouTube, a lot of people you can reach out, a lot of people that can help you. If I missed anything in this video that is important for people that lost their sight and I didn't say it, please leave it down in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you next time.